Captain Falcon is a bounty hunter and F-Zero pilot who debuted in the original F-Zero on Super Nintendo in 1990. And while Captain Falcon hasn't been in any new F-Zero games recently, he does have a solid place in the Smash Bros. Franchise and is a well-respected Nintendo character. Yet despite knowing Captain Falcon for over 25 years, have you ever wondered what his real name is? This is a topic I never ever thought about until I got a comment the other day. It asked me to debunk Douglas Jay Falcon as a fan name for the character. Motivated, I decided to set out on a quest to determine if Douglas Jay Falcon is actually Captain Falcon's real name, or if it's simply a fan-given, non-canon name. Not knowing anything about this topic, I did a quick Google search to see what would come up. And yeah, turns out people don't know where this name came from. In fact, according to this GameFAQs thread, even asking Nintendo will not give you confirmation. The employee who answered this email simply stated they can't say either way what his name is. Due to this scattered knowledge and discussion, I decided to start from scratch and check out the F-Zero Wiki article to see if there was any additional information about the Douglas J name or any leads to follow. And there it was, the first lead. In the opening description of Captain Falcon on the F-Zero Wiki, it states that the name Douglas J has appeared on a now defunct F-Zero-X website. If true, this would be the only source material to ever reference Captain Falcon by that name, which in turn would also make it canon. The answer was on this defunct website, and I needed to find it. The first and most obvious step was to check the Wayback Machine, except I didn't know what the F-Zero-X URL was. I suppose I could have just guessed, but instead I took the long way around of finding Nintendo's old site, finding the game on the master game list, and using that listing to gain access to the F-Zero site. Well, what do you know, it's actually fzerox.com. Now that I'm on the site, I thought it would be really simple navigating it to find Captain Falcon's bio and prove or debunk the rumor. Unfortunately, that was not the case, as the system requirements to run the site are so outdated that I couldn't gain access to it. Luckily, my friend group stepped in, suggesting we try to get around the main entry page and simply check every capture the site has ever received, since we just need to get the bio page. Well, if we pull up the complete capture list, we run into some issues with what pages are available. The site seems to have gone down in late 2001, so every capture after that point only redirects to Nintendo's main site. The only pages that can still be accessed in some form are the ones from the late 90s and early 2000s. Despite this, many of the old captures failed to load properly, resulting in blank pages. So if we click on the Captain Falcon bio capture from 2001, we can see the headings of what images are supposed to be there, but nothing loads. This page was saved in 2001, but the bio image itself was saved starting in 2007, which was far too late. Fortunately, we had the idea to inspect the element of where the bio image should be, and it came up with some details about the image, including its dimensions and file type. So using that information, he searched F-Zero images specifying the exact size and type as the bio was. Then after a bit of looking around, we hit gold. One of the images that came up in the Google search led us to Venom's 316's F-Zero-X homepage, hosted on Angelfire. They have pages for all of the F-Zero-X racers, and if you click Captain Falcon, everything fully loads. So if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a write-up about the character, and right there, it says Captain Douglas Jay Falcon. Since we used an official site image to lead us to the fan site, and the wiki says that only the F-Zero-X site ever had Douglas J listed, it leads you to believe that this is essentially a fan copy of the official site. But before we can come to that conclusion, we need to prove that these assets are authentic and not something that this person compiled on their own. So going back to the official F-Zero-X archives, we did locate a couple images that were actually backed up properly. The idea here is to take these official images and compare them to the ones on the fan site to determine whether or not they're the exact same file. And after a quick test, the data of the Beastman image is exactly the same. The one on the fan site is an exact copy of the one that was on the official site. This gives us quite a bit of probability that everything from the official site was copied onto this fan site. Not to mention, if we put the fan site into the Wayback Machine, we can see that it's quite old, which means the fan site was likely created while the official site was still up. And with that said, that was the extent of the research we were able to conduct. While all of the information we found highly suggests that the fan site was a direct copy of the official site, finding a single bio image from the official site and comparing it would have sealed the deal completely. So there you have it, more proof than maybe you would have thought behind the Douglas Jay Falcon name rumor. Based on what we found, I personally believe that the fan site was a copy of the official site, which makes Douglas Jay canon as Captain Falcon's real name. But understandably, we never did get absolute undoubted proof. It would be really cool to get official confirmation from Nintendo themselves, but the F-Zero series is just about as defunct as the F-Zero X website. So for now, depending on what you believe, Captain Falcon's real name could still be a mystery.